Shalom. So I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Basham Yahushai, Basham Rachak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. And Shalom to the sincere Akim who over there pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. The hopefully elect, want to say Shalom. And I just want to do a video here again on the job site, It seems that every time the spirit hit me really is on the job site, but still had to push the wood. I was reading an article earlier today, and it's from the New York Times. As you could see, the New York Times now. I say a quiet exodus: why black worshippers are leaving white evangelical churches. And as we could see, the majority of our so-called people actually finding out in the spirit that it have something wrong with these so-called churches, and it's not by coincidence. It's really because of the men who out there pushing the word, pushing the truth, because there's a spiritual warfare. And as we stand up on the street corners, we actually pulling down the strongholds by telling the people the truth. We actually showing the people what they really are, in terms of they are Israelites. They are waking up to the truth and the fact about they are Israelites, because they always have a question. It must have something more, because something is not right in these churches. It must have something more. And when I was reading the article, one of the like this year, they say then came the 2016 election, right? So black congregants, as recounted by people in Chicago, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Fort Worth, and elsewhere, had already grown uneasy in recent years as they watched their white pastors fail to address shootings of African Americans. And that is what these white pastors do. They don't speak about these things. So these so-called blacks in these churches, they get offended by these things. And that is in their spirit, because they always find that there's something wrong. And these black churches, well, no, not these black churches, as I say. So like these so-called black people who are Israelites, so like civilians. Alright. Yeah, so like about that, as I said earlier on the work site again, but these so-called black people who are Israelites by bloodline, by history from the Bible, they do not understand that they are under curses, and these white pastors, these so-called white pastors, they do not teach the truth. They do not teach the people that the Israelites are under curses until today, because just recently it had another shooting. In Michigan, I think, the state of Michigan. I think a brother did a video on that, where the person get like 20 shots, like 20 gunshots, are unarmed citizen from African American descent. That what the well, that what the media and the papers will say, but we know there's Jakes, we know there's Israelites, But as you read on in the article, they said they heard prayers for Paris, for Brussels, and law enforcement. So they hear prayers for all these other states, all these other current events which do not pertain to what really happening, and the curses what really put on Israelites, by the shootings of our brothers and sisters in the street. And at the end of the day, it's all the will of Yahweh Basham Yahushai, it's all the Heavenly Father's will. And I was just reading the article. It's a very interesting article to read. And that is why when I was reading the article, scriptures come to my mind. And one of the scriptures was Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. That is why we are out there to push the truth. The men are great millstone, the hopeful elect, the sincere men who crying day and night. We are out there to push the truth, to warn the people. And although we know that the people will not take warning from us, but the scripture said in John 10, the 10th chapter, Salaki, that his sheep will hear his voice. You know, this is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which we are cursed right now. You know, brothers getting gunned down in the streets by police, and it have nothing coming out of it. It have no justice. You know, and we people, we Israelite people, we Jakes, 2/3 of our people, they actually looking for a man to actually save them. They're actually looking for betterment here. You know, and that's why the scriptures say, you know, return to the Father. It's only the Father had the ability and the power to actually, you know, intervene in these situations, you know, to bring this to an end, to establish the New Jerusalem, to establish the new kingdom. You know, but these white churches do not preach that. It says, which I have said before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all nations, whether the Most High power have driven thee. You know, and we are scattered all about the earth. You know, but we actually calling it to mind. The elect is actually being waken up. It's being waken up to the truth. Because we are in our captivity right now. And we are calling on the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We are turning back to the law, statutes, and the commandments. You know, verse 2 he say, and shall return unto the Most High power, and obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul. And with all thy heart and with all thy soul. And that's why we crying out to the Most High day and night. We giving our all. We giving our all. This truth is supposed to be our first priority. You know, turning back to the Lord. And Baruch say, and let me get Baruch quick. Baruch 4, it's 27. Yeah, Baruch 4 verse 28. It says, for as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, as are we returning now, because we actually recalling our captivity and bringing it to mind. You know, seek him 10 times more. Seek him 10 times more. You know, how to please the Father, how to do his will, to do his work. And when you decide to do that now, you actually realize that it have no other savior coming other than Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It have no other savior. A man cannot save us from these curses. Only the Most High will lift the curses. Only the Most High will lift the curses. You know, as we go back in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, right? The verse 3, he said that, then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. Right? The Most High will do that. Not a man. The Most High will do that. He will turn thy captivity. So you see all these curses that we are underneath, you know, all these laws, all these subjects of payments that we are underneath, the Most High will actually turn our captivity and have compassion on thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations. And that's what we're doing right now. That's what the Most High doing right now. He is actually gathering. But the gathering is starting to take place for the word. As the word is actually gathering, you know, the Israelites. As the word, because they said the sheep hear his voice. So whether the Most High power had scattered thee. Say, if any of thine be driven out unto the utmost part of heaven, from hence will I, the Most High, thy power gather thee, and from hence will I fetch thee. You know, you see, and the Most High power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possess, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. You know, I now go back to Baruch. Baruch said the same thing. Baruch chapter 4. Also like Baruch chapter 3. And then verse 6. So Baruch chapter 4, chapter 3, verse 6. He say, for thou art the Most High our power, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. He say, and for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name. And now the Most High name is very important. And praise thee in our captivity. In our captivity, the land which we are, wherever he has driven us to. Because it have Israelites scattered all about the four corners of the earth. And it will have Israelites looking like all these other nations. That why it is a spiritual thing. It's not after the physical eye what the eye could see. But it's a spiritual, because the spirit will bear witness to this word. It will draw all the Israelites, and that is the gathering. That is the gathering being gathered. It's to the word. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee, and we are our forefathers. Through regeneration, we are our forefathers. So that is why we call in remembrance why we are in the state, why we are under curses, why we getting gunned down in the streets. Why we are the bottom, why the so-called blacks people, the so-called Negroes are at the bottom of the table in the whole nations of the earth. Everybody is above us. We so-called Negroes have no say. We have no say in nothing. And 2/3 of our people like it that way. 2/3 of our people like here. Like the treatment what they get in here. That's why we look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein righteousness dwell. This is Baruch 4, verse 37. He said, Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One. By the word. And the word is Yahushai. By the word. So that is the gathering taking place. Until there be a physical gathering where the chariots come to deliver us. But it have a spiritual gathering now, because these so-called blacks, especially in America, which is Egypt, which is Babylon the Great, many and many of the blacks actually live in the church. The so-called black people, the so-called Negroes, is actually live in the churches, because they find that it is something wrong. It has something wrong, something that's not connected with the spirit. And all that is the work of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Eventually, if the elect will actually hear, the elect will actually see the men on the Most High on the street corners. Because these things wasn't happening, or these things wasn't taking place until they saw the men on the street corners pushing the word in sincerity and the truth. So it's high time for these so-called blacks to wake up. Our salvation is nearer than we believe. So I just was reading the article, and it makes some very interesting points. These pastors, they don't talk about nothing what happening to these so-called blacks. But they talk about everything else. Pray for Paris, pray for this, pray for that. Pray for financial incomes and all these kind of mad things. But they will warn the people and tell the people that the economy is about to crash. So so I'll continue reading the article, and this is just more proof that hey, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, we really need Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, because he's the only one who come and deliver us and come and save us. No man have that a power or that ability. So with that, I just want to make the video short. But I say with that, I say Shalom to the Akim out there. Continue to push it word in sincerity and in truth. Continue to do the work, the will of the Heavenly Father. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. And Shalom to the brothers on the four corners who pushing this word. I want to say Shalom.